This podcast contains themes that are unsuitable for younger listeners and parental guidance is advised.
We've got to keep moving or they get us! These weapons are shit! Now we've got to rescue John. Come you took my child. It's now 30 years.
We're close to getting our mission properly started, but we needed to finish repairing Hyperdrive, and we had to bite the bullet and just try and find a space station that's just well away from the central core of the Anunnaki Empire, and hope that no one notices us, because there's no chance of mounting a rescue if we can't get there, let alone get away. Remembering that travel through the hyperlight gates is not really much of an option. We have to use the hyperdrive. It's the only way to get there undetected and without having to fight our way through. After a couple of days, we managed to find a space station that met our criteria. Not really a friend of the Anunnaki, but not against them. Nice bit of neutral territory. So we sat down and landed. The man in black and Nana stayed with the ship whilst they were doing the repairs. I suppose, say A, we didn't get fleeced, and B, so they could work out exactly what was wrong with the hyperdrive. So if it was to die again, they could try and fix it. That left Chichi and myself at a loss because we had nothing to do. So we thought, why not just have a little walk around the space station together and see if we could find a few supplies or even somewhere for a drink. It would be nice to go for a drink. A long time since I'd been able to go out and enjoy myself. I've been fighting for most of my life. So getting to a bar where we won't be noticed is a godsend. Just Chichi and myself, and we could possibly talk about what's going to happen with us once we've completed our mission, to see if there could be a future with Chichi and I after this mission. After about 20 minutes of walking along the promenade of the space station, we came across a bar, a nice little shithole dive bar, something that will make a real man proud. Chichi linked my arm and we went inside. No one looked at us, no one gave a shit I was a human and that she was an Anasapien. No one cared. It was amazing. It's a great feeling to know that we were invisible. No one gave a fuck that we were there. So we found ourselves a nice quiet booth tucked away in a corner so we could see the entire room and know that there was no one able to get behind us. That's just my own personal paranoia, and Chichi liked that. She liked that a lot. We're talking and talking, just talking nonsense really. I would say stuff like, so tell me, what's your home world like? And Chichi replied, oh, it's a bleak world. It isn't that nice a world. We're just like you, minus the nice beautiful world. We were just brought up as slaves, although I do miss the purplish sky. Purple sky, I said. Yeah, it's because we don't have a yellow sun like you did. You got a blue sun. A blue sun. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. And how does the sky go purple if it's a blue sun? Well, it's just the way how the light reacts off the magnetosphere. Well, so I've been told. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. That's what they taught us in school. Oh, that's very nice. That's very interesting. I really got to come and visit it one day. Chichi looked at me and took my hand. Yeah, I'd like that, she said. I'd like you to come and visit my family and where I come from, and I want to come and visit you on Earth as well. Because I've never seen places full of green trees. Not in real life. I've only seen it on TV, but I want to feel the fresh air that you have. I want to smell the life. And I want to smell the air with pollen and grass. We just don't have much of that on our planet. It's amazing how different worlds just vary dramatically. No wonder why the Anunnaki wanted our world. They wanted our world because it was so rare. It was so rare, and it's the jewel in their crown. We just happen to be their slaves. They're slaves that they dumped on this world, knowing full well that the conditions that we had on Earth were there just for breeding and breeding and breeding. And that's all they wanted us for. An army, a work army, and an army to destroy their enemies. And what better place to raise an army on a world with abundance of life and air and water and food, lots of abundance of it. And that's why their army gets topped up every so often by us. Every 10,000 years there's enough population to take most of the population away and start the process all over again. I noticed out the corner of my eye a group of rabbit-like aliens. Oh shit, I said. Chichi looked at me. What do you mean? Oh no, it's the Hatanians. What? Look, there's a group of Hatanians. Oh shit, said Chichi. They're looking right at you. Look, your mace is... Why did you bring the mace, said Chichi. I bought the mace because that's my favourite weapon. Yeah, I built it. Okay? Yes, but now you've been recognised. Look, they're coming over. Ah, fuck, crying out loud. Fuck, I said. Right, okay, I got this. Just sit down, I've got this. Pointed one of the Hatanians. Right. Hold up, mate, hold up. I pointed to my wrist. I pressed a button and the translator came online. Say it again. I gestured by pointing into my ear and into my mouth. Talk to me again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The translator muttered through the speakings and ramblings and weird sounds that the Hatanian was making.
You murdered my family. You murdered both of my brothers.
Did I now? And what makes you say that?
That bloodstain on that weapon is Hartonian blood.
Is it? Is it really? I wouldn't know that, not knowing what a Hartonian is.
That's us.
He said, getting angry.
We're here to find you, and found you we did. We've been looking all over for you.
Really, I said. Really. And what if you're wrong? What if I didn't kill your family? But what if I did? There was a glint in my eye. There was one seriously nasty glint in my eye. Like, okay, I was spoiling for a fight. Yeah, I really shouldn't have killed his family, but at that point in time, I thought they were going to go for me, and their dog, it got me. It went to go for me, so I was in no mood to let them kill me. But I didn't want to let this piece of shit know what I was thinking. So, what do you intend to do about it then?
I'm gonna kill you.
He said. Really? You're gonna kill me? Okay. Well... I shot him. I shot him in the face and his head exploded. I picked up my mace and got up to my feet, and the other Hartonians looked all shocked. Yeah, I can use your weapons now. You want to be scared of someone like me? I said as I dragged my mace across the floor of the bar. I pointed my mace at the group of Hartonians that were still left. If you're going to kill someone, I said, kill them. Don't talk. What they didn't know is I plagiarised that from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. My old man made me watch it when I was a boy, and I'd never forgot that, whilst I had this mace pointed towards this group of Hartonians. Now the question is, what do you guys intend to do about this? This is the third Hartonian now I've killed, and one of your stupid dog things. Come and get some. They all went to pull out a gun, and I swung my mace back, and with one swing, I smashed the head off of another Hartonian. His head came clean off his shoulders. These Hartonians have got real mushy bodies. I then swung the mace and smashed his headless body in the chest as he was on the floor, twitching. I then did a backhand swing with my mace on another Hartonian and caught him right in the gut, and it dragged a lot of his guts out like it was a washing line attached to my mace. I rotated the mace around to pull the guts out even more, and then followed through and smashing the mace on his face. Oh, that rhymed once more. It rhymed again. I'm on fire. The last Hartonian looked at me as I'm trying to clumsily pull the guts off the mace with my foot on one end and untwisting the mace from the other end, and all these guts that look like real cheap sausages just started to fall off. This last Hytonian was looking at me. He didn't know what to do. He fumbled for a gun on the wrong side and Chichi just shot him in the face. I turned around to Chichi and said, "He was mine. I was going to do all of him." And she turned around and said, "Well, listen, my darling, I actually thought he was going to shoot you whilst you were fucking around with untangling your mace." "Oh, well, thank you, darling," I said back. "I do appreciate that you watched my back, and I appreciated how you handled that situation," she said. "That could turn a cold-blooded girl real hot." "Really?" I said. "But you're a mammal, aren't you?" "Well, I'm more mammal than I am, but yes, you're right, I actually have got warm blood. I just thought it'd be funny." "That was very funny," I said, "sweetheart, that was really funny." I sat back down, and this waitress come over with a mop and bucket and a couple of cloths, and she started wiping the blood off mine and Chi-Chi's table and booth, and then mopped up all this blood in front of us. Wow, no one gave a fuck. Well, yeah, there's no real law out here, is there? As long as you don't kill the bar staff, they don't give a shit. Wow, I need to come back to this place. I love this place. You could never get away with that on Earth. Even during the occupation right now, you couldn't get away with that without there being trouble. "Yeah, well, you forget one thing." "What's that?" I said. "We're not on Earth." "That's a good point, darling. It's a good point." "So we're dear and darlings now, are we?" "Well, we did do you know what." "Yes, exactly. I know what. I know what you did." She smiled. And then we saw some security officers come over. They're carrying big chunky meat hooks, and at one point I started to clutch my gun, and Chi-Chi took my hand. "Don't," she said. "What do you mean?" "They're coming." She's like, "No, watch." These meat hooks were slammed into these dead bodies and dragged off, leaving a trail of blood behind them. And the waitress come over as they're going along and mopping up behind them. Wow, that's amazing. "So what's going to happen with these guys? Why are they on meat hooks? Why can't they just pick them up and put them in body bags?" "Well," she said, "well, guess what? Near enough every species is food for another species, so you're going to probably get someone eating a Hatarian burger later on." "Fuck off," I said. "No fucking way." "Yeah, you get people who like eating Hatarian, and then again you get some people that like eating Terran." "Terran? I'm a human." "Yes, but people know your planet is terra firma, okay? And you're Terran." "Right, I suppose so. Now, what kind of person eats Terran?" I said. "Well, I can eat Terran, but not in that way." Winked Chi-Chi. "Really? Well, let's get back to the ship. Hopefully the hyperdrive's finished." "And if it's not?" said Chi-Chi. "Well, if it's not, then I've got something I really need to show you in my cabin." "Now that's an interesting prospect," said Chi-Chi. "It's a very interesting prospect indeed." Thank you for listening. Please come back next week for the next episode. If you've enjoyed this podcast, why not check out our other podcast, A Tribute to Men That Hate Their Jobs, which is a brutal but witty portrayal of working a job you hate. In this podcast, there are themes explored in which happy workers simply wouldn't understand, unless they listen to these cautionary tales from a man that lost his ideal job because of the global pandemic. Be warned that this podcast contains strong and offensive language that some listeners may not want to hear. In addition, this podcast is not recommended for younger audiences. All our podcasts are available on YouTube. Just search for the Master X Media podcast channel. In addition, you can also find our podcasts on Amazon Music, Red Circle Podcasts, Stitcher and Spotify. We also have another YouTube channel called The X Review. This is a review and reaction channel. Not only is it on YouTube, but it is also on Brand YouTube, BitChute and Rumble. You can also find us on Facebook, Gab, Twitter and Parler. All the links are in the description below.